Welcome back to our mini-series on stress. Today, we're going to talk about stress and self-care. My experience working with the practical application of stress-reducing activities is vast.
Because let's face it, stress sucks.
Today, we're going to talk to you a little bit about how to become selfish. There's a lot of shame and negative feelings around the idea of being selfish. The fact is that selfishness can be healthy, but we don't think of it that way as a society.
Depending on one's culture, selfishness is often considered unhealthy and is generally an undesirable trait. So, we're going to talk about healthy selfishness.
Self-care doesn't mean being selfish. In fact, what it means is prioritizing your own needs first, in consideration with others, and not at their detriment.
That's what we mean by selfishness being healthy.
We'll cover several self-care activities that are often neglected, eliminated, or decreased as a result of stress. So why does it matter? Prolonged or severe stress has many negative health consequences. Prolonged or severe stress can contribute to the development or worsening of mental health conditions such as anxiety disorders, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Chronic stress leads to other health problems such as cardiovascular, increased blood pressure, high heart rate, as well as the increased amount of cortisol that runs through your system, which also has deleterious effects. Cortisol has been correlated with heart disease, heart attack, and stroke. Stress also decreases the immune response. A decrease in the immune system leads to a higher risk for infections and illnesses, as well as a decrease in healing time. Digestive issues that are caused by stress include stomach aches, indigestion, diarrhea, and constipation. Stress also exacerbates inflammatory bowel disease and irritable bowel syndrome. Stress can cause muscle tension and pain. This can lead to general muscle pain, including neck and back pain, as well as migraines and headaches. Prolonged stress can impact the balance of hormones in the system, affecting menstrual cycles in women and decreasing libido. Stress may impact pre-existing conditions such as acne, eczema, or psoriasis. Stress decreases healing time, making you more prone to infections. Chronic stress can impair cognitive function, memory, concentration, and decision-making abilities, making it difficult to perform daily tasks effectively. One activity of self-care is eating a healthy diet. Having a healthy diet is really important because it can improve mood as well as energy. Plus, it has a positive impact on stress.
We aren't going to presume to tell you what you should eat. Speak to your healthcare provider or another person you trust to help you determine what's the most healthy food choice for you. But this section may give you insight that change is needed.
Some individuals may experience an increase in weight gain or a decrease in weight as a result of their appetite being affected by stress.
But, don't forget.
Other areas to consider when you are making an appropriate health choice when it comes to diet include culture, race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and geographic location.
Oh yeah. One more thing.
With a food log, you might be able to tease out what is generally giving you good energy, what's causing you distress, and what's giving you comfort when it comes to food. So make sure to check in with yourself. That's one of the biggest pieces here. Balance and check-ins. Not getting enough sleep increases anxiety, it increases your stress, and it depletes your energy levels. Getting enough sleep helps individuals not only feel rested, but it allows for them to feel better when they are awake. When a person gets enough sleep, they're better able to handle stressful situations. If you don't already, make sure to have some kind of a sleep hygiene in place. What that could look like is drinking tea, taking a bath, making sure that your mind and your body know that it's time to sleep. Whether it's wrapping up in a warm blanket, or putting on your pajamas, or taking a shower. Whichever of those is the one that is best for you, will be the one that you need to routinely implement.
Some things to think about
is decrease or eliminate caffeine consumption after a certain time. Another thing that our society doesn't often consider is to avoid electronics before bed. Having a good sleep regimen means not being interrupted at night. The truth is that there will be times in our lives where we will have difficulty sleeping, whether it's through insomnia from a clinical or a diagnosed condition, or whether it's from having kids, or whether it's from being on call, or just simply because we want to be awake. There are many different reasons why we may not get enough sleep. But again, it comes down to balance. So in essence, developing a healthy sleep regimen or routine is a really big part of self-care. It's pretty obvious that engaging in self-care activities that you find enjoyable not only boosts your mood, but it also decreases your stress. That brings us to my favorite part of self-care: enjoyable activities. Engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment is a really important part of self-care. Self-care can include any activity such as reading a book, going to a park, hanging out in nature, socializing with friends, riding a bike, doing some exercise, any of those kinds of things. My favorite, of course, being playing games. Needing help can be one of the most important aspects of self-care. Asking for help is not only vulnerable, but sometimes we can feel embarrassed that we even need to ask at all. As a professor, one of the things that's really important to remember is that developing coping mechanisms is a really big part of recovery. Now, when I say recovery, I'm not talking about necessarily from substance use or addictions. What I'm talking about is recovery from a lifestyle that may not have been as beneficial
as it could be.
Asking for help and finding a counselor or therapist may be one of the best steps that you can take. They can give you access to coping mechanisms that you may not have thought about before. If you find that you are experiencing physical symptoms from the stress or related to stress, seeking out a medical professional may be your best option.
But again, these are choices that you need to make, having considered all the variables required to make an informed decision that will be most beneficial to you in the short and long term. Now that we've discussed the negative consequences of not dealing with your stress, you can see why self-care is not actually selfish. Yes, you are taking care of you first, but that also means others don't need to take care of you. That's truly the least selfish thing you can do.